Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I have been a little bit late today. I was struggling with some aspects of my OBS broadcasting software. Um, think I have finally fixed it. So I'm out here. Sorry for the delay. Now, for today, I think it's going to be a very interesting day as the controversies do not seem to be dying off. And we have a slew of economic data coming up. So today's spotlight is on a slew of US economic indicators dropping at 8:30 a.m. So the first one we have is retail sales, that is month over month, year over year, X autos, X gas, and also the control group. And then we have export and import prices month over month and year over year, as well as initial and continuing jobless claims, Philadelphia Fed manufacturing index and components. So the tariff sensitivity will kind of come out in these numbers, I hope. Today's trade numbers price, today's trade price numbers, as well as the retail sales data, are in sharp focus amid ongoing debates around US tariff policies. The big question is, when is it going to hit? While forecasters can call for only slight moves in import-export prices, analysts note that there will be the first show of any ripple effects if tariffs have recently intensified. Similarly, high import cost could filter down to the consumers, impacting retail sales figures if discretionary spending gets pinched by price hikes. Also, we have got these manufacturing costs coming through the Philly Fed's price, and I think we will be probably seeing any of the tariff-induced cost pressures that are making their way through US manufacturing supply chains, influencing both margins and production decisions for the coming quarter. And I want to show you a table out here. I hope you are able to see this table. And this is what I'm thinking the market focus column out here kind of gives the idea of what we are looking for. So in case of retail sales month over month and year over year, we are looking to see if these numbers slow down. If they slow down, that means the tariff is starting to hit, because at higher costs, people buy less. And it will start showing that. And then export-import prices can directly signal any tariff effects that are happening for that happen to take place. Also, Philly manufacturing index prices, they will give us an idea of the pass-through of tariff costs to manufacturers. And of course, the jobless claims is something the Fed will be looking at. They have a dual mandate. So job market resilience is what we are looking at in the jobless claims. So there are a lot of projections in the market about what these numbers are likely to be, but they are only that. It's speculation. We'll have to wait and see what comes out. And in this context, what I want to say is that as it is, the BLS has got less funding, and therefore it has been using statistical method to project numbers and include it with the actual numbers it has collected. And that's how we get these jobless numbers and other numbers. And then in retrospect, when they get the actual data, they update those numbers. That's why we have the jobless revision numbers and all. And those revisions are staggering in recent days. The current administration is cutting their budgets even more. It's cutting out budgets on generally all data collection, including weather-related data and all. So that's going to make it even more difficult to rely on data, and therefore expect more volatility in the numbers as we go ahead over the next few months. Now, apart from this, I think we are looking at corporate earnings coming in. PepsiCo has already declared its earnings, and it has come up with slightly better than expected profit and revenue, but flagged future margin pressures and shifting consumer tastes. North America remains stable, but international growth is the bright spot. And I am thinking that Pepsi has done resoundingly well, given the way the FDA is operating under RFK Jr., I would have expected that sugary drinks and pop and all will find a lot of headwinds, but Pepsi has done extremely well. So even in the domestic area, I think they have done well, in my opinion. And of course, their shares have been rewarded in pre-market. When I saw before I started this session, they were up 1.16%. So that is good. It has not been buy the rumor and sell the fact as far as PepsiCo is concerned. I think most people must have been worried that with the RFK Jr. effect, PepsiCo would have had lesser sales, but I think they surprised, and that's why they are up. Next, we have TSMC, which soared with a 61% profit surge propelled by relentless demand for AI chips. That tone remains highly optimistic for second half as global AI adoption accelerates. This underpins broader chip and tech sentiment, and also the recent moves by NVDA. I think Jensen Huang was brilliant in getting the White House meeting. I thought nothing good would come out of it, but he got permission to sell chips to China. And likewise, AMD also did that. And yesterday we saw both AMD as well as NVIDIA surge and push the markets up, I think day before yesterday. Now, that also has a good reflection on TSMC. But friends, remember, Taiwan is in proximity to China, and China has always considered Taiwan as part of its part of the country, and that is going to be a flashpoint as the trade war continues between US and China. So we have to be very careful not to get overexcited and giddy, but TSMC definitely has given a great result. Also remember that TSMC has put up US units, which reduces the risks as they come operational. Now, there is more trending news that's happening. One is on crypto. The House held crucial hearings over the Fed's role in digital currency oversight and the possible launch of a central bank digital currency, amplifying the debate on stablecoin regulation. The Fed remains cautious as policymakers seek clarity. And also, these legislations, I believe, make it essential for regulation of these stable coins and make sure that they have reserves to backstop the coins that they have issued. And that's a move in the right direction. So I'm expecting crypto in general to start looking much better and more corporate participation in that, as a result of which crypto gets into mainstream and the volatility will reduce. Now, Trump has also weighed in on Fed independence with his on and off hot blow cold kind of approach. He came out with leaked information, because these information leak out of the White House. It doesn't come to the press by itself. The leak was that Trump had floated a draft letter firing the Fed, and he had asked for opinion from the Republican members of Congress and so on and so forth, asking whether it would be a good thing to do. And when the news got out, the markets came down, and as soon as the yields went up and the 2-year by 10-year yield spread touched almost 65 at one point, I think immediately Trump came back and said he was not considering doing any such thing, and immediately the market started stabilizing. But the 2-year by 10-year is still quite elevated. Now, I have noticed that in the past, Trump has always floated a trial balloon. He said he would do something, and then he stepped back, said he would not do, and then he came back again and teased it a little bit more with some tweaks, and then said he wouldn't do, and then finally he did it. So I'm thinking that he's not going to have that much of a patience. He would be compelled to go ahead and fire Fed Chief Powell, and then that will go into a court litigation, and it will get messy, because that will take attention away from the Epstein files issue, which is roiling the entire MAGA base, and it's getting really ugly out there. So expect something phenomenal. I don't think he's going to bomb some other country. He had already tried that with Iran, and that did not distract much. So I think firing the Fed is one of the things that he might try to do, because that will create a lot of financial headlines, a lot of suck the oxygen out of that Jeffrey Epstein news. So that's my worry, guys. I want you to let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, this is also, my fear is also backed by the Reuters Ipsos poll, which shows 69% of Americans believe authorities are withholding details in the Epstein case. And that's going to be the linchpin out there. Now, after all this is over, I think that the broad takeaway is that today's economic data will be scrutinized by everybody for early signs of tariff impacts, both trade prices and retail behavior. And then they will extrapolate it to the next quarter, next month, and they will say, okay, this is going to get worse if it shows up, and then that would mean that the margins are going to shrink, and if the margins are going to shrink, then the share price has to go down. So that could be the turning point that would probably take care of the bearish divergence that we see in the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and other indices. Now, corporate earnings momentums are looking strongest in tech and AI sectors, while consumer companies caution on costs, and also political and regulatory headlines, especially around Fed independence and digital currency. These are the things which could come up with some catalyst today and tomorrow that can spike the market up or down. So we have to watch out for those things. So we'll stay tuned for the 8:30 a.m. data and subsequent information. Now, let me go on and have a look at what's happening with our with the indices. So here we go. Now, I have got S&P 500 out here. The first order of business is to make it a single window and recalibrate the chart. And then go for the 1-day candle view. And once I have done that, I would like to recalibrate. That's what I have to do with the TradingView platform for some reason. Now, friends, I don't call this bearish, because we have a bull flag out here. Okay, this is a screaming bull flag, in my opinion. And if the bull flag were to break out today, let us say the bull flag breaks out today, then we would have a price target of somewhere around 6,654. Okay, I can't ignore this, right? So having said that, I'm going to remove that because we don't have a breakout yet. Having said that, we still have the divergence that we have to worry about. The bullish sentiment is also waning a lot. And we have all the issues that I spoke about in my monologue before we started this analysis. So it's a mixed feeling out here for me. When I look at the futures, the S&P 500 futures are down 0.08. That's not a big deal. It can change when the market opens. Nasdaq futures are up 0.01%. That is also not a big deal. It can change when the market opens. And again, we have the divergence, which is trying to mend itself. We'll see how far it goes. Dollar index is up 0.54%. The strengthening of the dollar means the yields are going up. So you have the 20-year still above 5.02. It's up 0.22% today. The 30-year yield is also up 1 basis point. It's up 0.28% today. And we can see that we have a bull flag out here, which is materializing. Let me just check how much this bull flag, how long this bull flag is. So we have a bull flag that goes up to here. And then this section out here is the one that came down. And then we broke out from here. So I think we are almost close to our target of 5.05 for the 30-year. So there is another 3 cents yet to go, and probably we'll end up there today. The bullish sentiment is high, MACD is bullish, and momentum is also going up, which indicates it has to go upwards, and we have a resistance at 5.10. All of this is going to be impacted by the economic data that we get this morning. Now, having said that, I would like to go and look at the indicators themselves. S&P 500 it closed at 6,263. The bullish sentiment is reducing, MACD is bearish, and momentum is very close to overbought. And we have the divergences which are trying to mend themselves. So even if you discard this major line that I have drawn, and if we draw a new line where we just take a smaller segment out here and put the equivalent, you still have divergences. And those divergences have to mend themselves, right? So for that, I think we'll have to see a market turnaround. And also in S&P 500, if you look at the long-term lines, we are way past the peak, And at this point of time, with so many other catalysts in play, I think the market valuation is stressed. It is high risk. Likewise, same for Nasdaq as well. And if you look at the VIX is up 0.87% today, and the gold. Of course, as the dollar index strengthens, gold has to go down because gold is denominated in US dollars. It's down 0.69%, but it is still pretty strong. It is consolidating here on a bull flag, so it could go up anytime. So on every side, we can see that the market is a bit indecisive. It could go either way. It all depends on how the economic data comes out and what Trump does today, because he has the bully pulpit. Now, QQQ pre-market is up 0.11%, and I think we again have the bearish divergence that has to be resolved. We also have the bullish sentiment going down. MACD is also bearish, and we were overbought and we have come down a little bit. Let us see which direction it goes. It's undeterminable right now. Put call ratio is at 0.85. It has remained in that level for quite a while. It is between neutral to mildly bullish. And now I would like to go and have a look at AI and see what we are doing in the semiconductors arena. So NVDA has US approval to resume H20 AI chip sales to China with many orders pending. This shift in US-China tech relations may boost NVIDIA's revenue in the Chinese market. So the next quarter earnings are going to be phenomenal. And that's what is driving this enthusiasm. Pre-market, it's up 172.62%. This is all blue sky now for NVIDIA. It can go up further. I sincerely regret having sold NVIDIA, but I'm too afraid to buy it right now because I think valuations are very elevated and the risk factors are very significant. So I'm just going to stand in the sidelines and watch. Meta is up 0.40% today. Google is down 0.42% in pre-market trading. Why could that be? Even Needham and Company has raised its price target for Google from 178 to 210. So there must be something going on that we are not aware of, which is pushing Google pre-market prices down. But I think when the market opens, if everyone is, each of those Mag 7s are on the top, I think Google is also going to be opening positive. Amazon is up 0.17% in pre-market trades. And we have Apple, which is up 0.15. And I think for Apple, the relationship with China is also quite important. I don't know how they're going to resolve their situation with Trump. But I think fortunately Trump has got a bit distracted. So his threat to Apple about having to move production out of India and out of China, and the tariffs that he has put on Vietnam for pass-through, all of that forces Apple to manufacture in the US. And in that case, their export business would get into a lot of trouble. So I don't know how they're going to resolve it. But I think at this point of time, Trump is distracted. That should allow Apple prices to move up again. Maybe he will not follow through with his threat and he will forget the whole thing. Now let's look at Microsoft, which is down 0.02% in pre-market, and analysts are saying that Microsoft will report strong Q4 earnings on July 30, making 10 straight quarters of raising per share earnings, fueled by growth in AI and cloud computing. So I don't know how this is going to turn out when the market opens. I think it has to open positive, but at the same time, you have a huge gap up and you have such increase. So I think that probably when they report earnings, if we are still on this track, it could be buy the rumors, sell the news kind of a situation as happened with JP Morgan. And also we have the bearish divergence that we have to take care of. Now let's look at Tesla. Tesla is looking very good. It's up 0.46% in pre-market trade. And Tesla's pricing for the new Model Y faces scrutiny as price wars in China intensify, led by competitors like BYD, with officials using automakers to avoid drastic price cuts. The officials are urging the automakers to avoid drastic price cuts. And I'm thinking that Tesla also has introduced in India. India is a difficult market and they're priced very expensive in India. We'll have to see how the Indian market takes off. There's a lot of there is an income disparity in India. So there's a lot of high net worth individuals who would consider buying it, especially because it is expensive. So we'll have to see how it turns out in India. Next, we look at Oracle, which is doing extremely well. It's up another 0.70%. And oh yeah, it's going up. I think it's at 242.85. It's on its way to much higher levels. Let us see what level it could go. So I'm going to take this bull flag out here, and I'm going to put it on the place where it broke out from. So that takes me to somewhere around $254 for Oracle as the price target. So $254 means we still have another $3 to go out here for Oracle. So it looks very good. The RSI is overbought, but we are not anywhere close to 88.86, which is where we had turned back in the past. AMD is also doing very well. It's up 0.49%. SMCI is up 0.04% in pre-market trades. And Broadcom is up 0.63% in pre-market trades, doing extremely well. And I think Palantir should also do well. It's up 0.63% in pre-market trades, really making new highs and proceeding towards our target of 161.42. That means it still has got $11 in the gas tank to be achieved. All the best to Palantir. And SMH is up 0.22%. This is looking pretty amazing. I think overall NVDA and AMD are propelling it. Tempus AI is up 1.43%, moving up further. And today we are possibly going to see the prospect of breaking some new heights. We have already broken the 50-day exponential at 60.66. Pre-market, we are at 60.84. So the next thing to break is 61.02, which is the 21-day exponential moving average. That's going to be the immediate resistance for today. Stock is looking pretty good out there, but the MACD is still bearish and trying to get into the bullish side. Momentum is below average, and the bearish sentiment is still persisting. So let's see what happens. Maybe the overall enthusiasm for AI is going to rub on to Tempus AI and take it up. And then we had some really good news from Rigetti yesterday. And I think Rigetti is also going to do well today. Let me see where we have RGTI. I'm not able to find it out here easily. Where is it? Okay, here it is. So Rigetti is down 1.93% after gaining around 30% yesterday. This is the status in the pre-market. But I think it's the profit taking that's taking place. And we have broken some key levels out here. This diagonal line of resistance was broken and has now become a support for Rigetti. I think the next resistance is at 18.36. So it should be moving up further. That said, let us go and have a quick look at Genomics and see what's happening out there. Prime is down 0.74% in pre-market trades, and the 9-day exponential at 4.05 is going to be the resistance for today. Intelia is up 0.67% in pre-market trades, and that 200-day exponential at 12.28 is going to be the resistance today. Pre-market, it's up 0.67% at $12.04. Bullish sentiment is intact. MACD is still bullish. Momentum is above average with room for the RSI to go up further. And Caribou Biosciences is up 0.55%. The 200-day exponential at 1.58 is going to be the support for today. And if we are looking for resistance, I would say that we may have a resistance somewhere around 1.92. And the support, the second level of support also is going to be here at 1.50. Beam Therapeutics is down 0.45% in pre-market trades. And the 100-day exponential at 19.92 is going to be the support today. And the 9-day exponential at 20.14 is the resistance today. Pre-market, we are down 0.45% and we are sitting at 19.98. Altimmune is down 0.24% in pre-market trades. It's consolidating out here, and our sentiment is bearish. MACD is continuing to improve. Momentum is below average, not looking great. Verve Therapeutics is flat in pre-market trades. Editas is down 0.35% in pre-market trades. It's at 2.83, and it's going to get support from the 9-day exponential at 2.77 today. Illumina is up 0.01% in pre-market trades. And at this stage, I think I would expect Illumina to start moving upward because the overall market is moving upwards and it has got an exposure to AI as well. The AI factor is not reflecting as much, I think, in the day-to-day price movement. We have seen a decent improvement in the stock price of Illumina all the way from 9th of April onwards. And right now, we have already bagged around 39% improvement in the price. That could indicate a little bit for the AI play and to a great extent for how the CEO has cleared up all the Grail mess and he's looking forward. I think we still need some more premium to get in here for the tie-up with NVDA and all the pioneering work Illumina is doing along with NVIDIA in AI. And also we have CRISPR, which is up 1.36% after all the profit taking that happened. Now, I would see this as a bull flag. I'm going to just switch briefly to 4-hour time frame, so that we can have more candles out here just for the ease of analysis. So if I was to look at, this as the bull flag, I'm just trying to see if we still have a bull flag. So if this was a bull flag, and if this was the flag portion of it, this is the flagpole, and this was a flag portion, I think at this stage, we are no longer a bull flag. So having said that, I changed my opinion. I think we are looking at a bear flag developing. And again, yesterday, we crossed 50% of the bear flag. So I don't think it is a bear flag anymore. And it has to go up. And the pre-market movement of 1.36 clearly takes us very close to the top end of this bear flag. So I would say that we could probably be moving upwards. And in potentially, I think we could be creating a bull channel, in which case we'll have a resistance, which is today sitting at around 59.28. It's a dynamic resistance. So in future, if we are looking at this as a resistance, I'll give you the new number. But for today, I think it's going to be 59.36. And we may also potentially find a resistance at the 9-day exponential, which is sitting at 54.95. That will be the initial resistance for today. That said, let us look at Allogene, and Allogene is up 2.44% in pre-market trades. Grail is down 0.36%. Grail has taken a big hit, and it's looking very bad on the charts. Sentiment overall is bearish. MACD is also bearish. Momentum is below average, but I think it's going to see a dead cat bounce. Pre-market, we are down 0.36%, but I wouldn't be surprised if we start moving upwards at least a little bit and building a foundation. 36.69 is the resistance for today, which is a 200-day exponential moving average. Presently, we are at 36.48. PSEB is down 0.67% in pre-market trades. 9-day exponential at 1.47 is the support. ARCG is up 0.04% in pre-market trades. Vertex is up 0.09% in pre-market trades. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 1.35% in pre-market trades. And the 50-day exponential at 9.81 is the resistance out there. I'm looking at Precision. It's up 2.17% in pre-market trades. It's at 1.88. But this fall was significant. That's a huge volatility out here. Somewhere in the third week of August, we are going to get some good news for Precision from FDA. So there is a whole lot of speculation going on out here. I'm still invested in Precision. I've got 100 shares at 1.93, holding on to it for the near term. And bullish sentiment seems to be waning. MACD has become bearish. Momentum is still above average. Let us see what happens when the market opens. That's about it, my friends. That kind of brings me to the end of today's session. And I think I'd like to hear from you guys what you think about the markets and what you think about the potential catalyst. Are the tariff going to start coming through? I personally think that they would. So with this, my friends, I'd like to end this video here. Watch out for the 8:30 data release that could change the markets. Bye for now. See you later.